A, E, 1, sort.
Hi, I am Miotchi. I am a music producer, DJ, and a visual artist. Anime culture is part of the Japanese culture. Anime Expo hit me up and asked me to play at their after party, and it was like a dream came true moment. Japanese EDM, which was totally different. How can I combine those elements together? I've been challenging myself as a DJ to make that happen. And this is at Sometimes Somewhere for AT1 Radio. I was born in Japan. I moved to the States because of my father's job, so I spent most of my childhood there. And we also moved to San Francisco, and then we moved back to Japan. So I also went to school there too. Me as a Japanese person, it's just like otaku culture is it's there. You know, we grew up with watching animes and playing video games on a daily basis. It's there, and you don't have to go to a conventions like to get figures and stuff. Like gotcha machines and toy stores are every around the corner, just like CVS. So I'm half kidding, but you know what I mean. So I grew up in that culture, and that was really normal to me. But again, it's once you get out of the country, it's different. So that makes me really, really appreciate the culture that I grew up with, and that's a part of the culture that I really cherish it as a Japanese person. In general, it's usually very comfortable, like to stay in the same community where people understand you or people have a certain type of ideas. And once you get out of community or culture, and then you get to see new ideas or get to hear new opinions, and that makes you feel uncomfortable. So that's where I mean by I'm open minded to the point where I am very I accept all types of ideas. I'm very open to so many different ideas, and I don't judge at all. I feel like, so I always like passionate about, like acting and singing and dancing and stuff. But like me being otaku, like those two elements never clicked, just like you said, right? And the funny thing is maybe because now I'm thinking about it, it's just probably like one of the reasons why is I never really try to make things work that way was I was always I'm comfortable, telling people that I'm into otaku cultures and stuff because I didn't want to get bullied. And people call me dork and geeks and stuff. So I never really want to talk about it. And I almost felt ashamed of like representing that. But that's something that I always love. That's something that I always love, growing up. And it's probably that's the reason. Probably that was why I separate those things. So the performance or music, it has nothing to do with the animes or culture related. So I've been in New York for 10 years, just trying to find myself, what I want to be, who I want to be as a person, and what type of artist I wanted to be. I'm always a creative person. I'm very, very artistic, since I was a kid. But then, like, I did not know who I truly was or what type of artist that I wanted to be. So after trial and error, like, I wanted to be a singer and I wanted to be a dancer. And I became a music producer. I DJ. It seems like I do a lot of stuff. And then the COVID happened and I got into visual art. So now I'm into 2D illustration and animation. It seems like a lot of things going on, but I feel like in my head, all these like puzzles, like pieces, like come together. And oh yeah, it's like what ties everything together is the culture that I cherish the most. The culture that I grew up. So I grew up in both like Eastern culture and Western cultures. Like I love American cultures a lot, like Western cultures. and in the Eastern cultures. So that represents me. And then whatever I create or express myself through art, like based on the culture that I grew up with, people that I was around with, like all through the years. So now that I feel like everything makes sense a lot to me, and now I'm comfortably like express myself, like not having to hide anything. Anybody could be a DJ. So what type of DJ am I, or what I'm trying to accomplish, or what I'm trying to like deliver through my performance? And what I came up with is not only I play my own music as a music producer, I like to play the music that inspires me or ties into the culture that I represent and cherish at the same time. I listened to a lot of American music growing up. Old school music, the classic. My parents love, classic music. Not only like my parents love jazz, love listening to jazz music as well as Stevie Wonder, Whitney Houston, all that. And I got into electronic music myself. Like around the time I started, got into music production. So I listened to a lot of like house music, da da da, da. And then I started listening to Japanese EDM, which was totally different. And then how can I combine those elements together? And it just looks like it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it doesn't make sense to a lot of people, because sometimes like people are so confused. Oh, I never heard of that kind of music, and so I've been trying to experiment and then mix all these genres together and then make it make sense. And I've been challenging myself as a DJ, like to make that happen. Anime Expo hit me up and asked me to play at their after party. And it was like a dream came true moment. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. And I was like really hyped because I always wanted to play at a anime convention. And that's one of my my goals, let's just say. I don't know what to say. I had a blast. His energy was amazing. I was cosplaying every single night. Well, last year I got to play 2 nights, and then this year I only played one night. And I was DJing a full cosplay. Everybody was feeling it, and I play a lot of course, I have to play a lot of like anime songs, remix and bootlegs and stuff. I throw one of my original songs and stuff. It doesn't matter, like people was feeling it. So as long as the music was good, of course, like transition has to be on point, but as long as the music was good, people will vibe to it. And yes, again, I really had a blast. People came to me, after my set, like, hey, like, like I really liked it. Hey, can I take a picture? Like I'm not a like celebrity or superstar or anything, but I just love the moment that it's like we share the moments, and then the bond that we created, and that's priceless. And that's something I'm blessed that I got paid to play the show. But at the end of the day, this is it. This is what I wanted. I don't know the definition of anime conventions, but in my opinion, it's the opportunity where you could experience, the culture, and especially, the anime culture is is a part of the Japanese culture, and whatever you call it, like sub pop culture, is whatever. So it's a partial, but this is the opportunity. This is where you could experience the Japanese sub pop culture. There's a whole floor where it's called Artist Alley. So all independent artists like have their own booth, and then they could sell their own merch. So which I thought was like really, really amazing. I usually don't have a lot of time to, walk around and go to like single booth and, like check their artists artwork and stuff. And so this time at Anime NYC, I visited almost every single one of artists' booth and check out their art. And you have no idea how much I got inspired by that as an artist. Even if like anime wasn't my thing, for example, like even if like anime or video gaming wasn't my thing, I would have been totally inspired by that. I mean, because like, that's how I am. I'm still in the middle of the journey, it's like in my music career. So I am definitely like open to whatever the opportunities like that makes sense to me. But again, I almost feel like it's my mission to share the culture through music and art as much as possible wherever I was. And in anime, it's like animes and video community is definitely one of the community I like to be in. Now that I feel like I want to focus on like releasing more music and sharing my music in that community. And on top of that, I'm actually working on starting my own brand. It's something called Kawaii Penthouse. That's something that I never mentions outside of the room, but it's an entertainment company. It's my own brand. So I make my own music, I make my own sounds, I create my own art, and produce my own merchandise. And whenever I get the opportunity to perform, I'll bring the music, the sound that I cherish or appreciate, as well as my own sound, and as well as my own art, like whether it's the print art, canvas art, it doesn't matter what it is, keychains or my own merchandise, and that's probably my goal. So I will say this to my young self or the young people like who try to do things or who wants to make something happen. I will say this. I was a very curious person. I tried so many things and it took me a while to, find my true self. But once you find your true self, or once you feel truly comfortable being yourself, doing what you love to do, and then everything will start coming together, and then your career will take off. Like, I strongly believe that. And then, especially like since after COVID, things started, working, surprisingly. And so it's just, stay focused, keep grinding, don't stop.
AE1 Short.
At Sometime Somewhere is produced by Audio-Technica for AT1 Radio. It is recorded at AT1 Studio at Technica House, New York. Follow AT1 Radio and Audio-Technica USA on all social media platforms. Thanks for listening.